I'd be like, don't
So
release me.
I do feel like nowadays, I think we give kids more grace. I feel like because
Definitely than our
I
parents
don't think I
did.
got it. Honestly,
Nah.
it
Oh
was
no,
just
we definitely
like,
give them.
look,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes
we
too
don't have
much.
time for this.
Yeah,
Like we don't
definitely
have time.
sometimes too much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes too much. And and I don't want to shit, but there's a lot when you think about childhood trauma, there is a lot of other traumas,
Mm-hmm.
right? And because you have guests, I like to at least touch on enough, only because it does bring a different perspective. When you have guests, you got to utilize because you don't know what the audience is. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with, and it does bring different perspectives, and I because so.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's not even just a childhood trauma. It's like you never heal the childhood trauma and then life start lifing. Now you in high school, you dealing with boys, you dealing with acne, you dealing with growing your breasts, if my butt too big or if I'm too this or if I can get in this sport or whatever, and now you dealing with people thinking you cute and your hair being a certain type of way, you wearing the right type of clothes, and then that's just like another trauma because I faced trauma in high school with wanting to be accepted and wanting to be and ran with the wrong crowd for like a whole year, and I finally was like, they be fighting. I don't got time for this. Like, and then I had to switch it up, and it's like then you get older and you start having boyfriends, and then all this other stuff, and then college, and it's like all of this trauma just being piled up every time until you finally be like, okay, now
I have to
it's like
address
you
that.
showing, it's showing differently. Now I got to do something different because it's really just a pile up at that point.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine like you said, you in my mom's generation, like what my mom has dealt with, or like even my husband, mom, 86. From what and that, like you said, they were back in the day. She was in it. So like now, from what she has now compared to who she is now, is so much understandable. Even though it frustrates us as this generation, it's like I just want you to get it. And it's like, it's crazy how they really just don't get it.
A lot of it's coping though. A lot of times, like just coping mechanisms. Like because I speak now, a lot of times I'll tell like part of my childhood trauma is I was molested
Mm-hmm.
by a family member. It was common though.
Yeah,
Like
I was just gonna say, that's
it
not
was
unnormal now.
but it should be.
It should be. It should
But it
be
should be.
ridiculously unnormal.
But it should be right. And but a lot of people in my generation, experience it, and it caused me to be really, really careful. Like when my son would come home from his grandparents' house. Did anybody touch you? Like it,
And it's
I
crazy that you
haven't
even
even
have to
had that
ask
happen
your
with me,
kid.
but I'm still that way with my daughter. Like
Because you hear the
just
stories.
yeah, I just hear stuff. So it's just like constantly embedded and like it's just in media, like just all type of things. Kids coming up missing. So it's just like I'm operating from a space of I need to protect you. I need to know what's going on. Like so that's why I try to do things to where I could teach her to communicate to me when she can't really talk yet. Because I need to know.
that's powerful.
Yeah, I like that. I
Yeah,
didn't even
yeah.
know that you did that.
Yeah.
Like the sign language, and it's crazy because what a kid mind can
Yeah.
do at such a young age.
They come in with everything they need. It just really has to
We
be
don't give them the
developed.
credit.
And then when we start giving them something to develop, because their minds are like sponges.
Yeah, because even Will's like, why do you keep telling her that? Like when I talk to her about her private part, like because she needs to know. He's like, she's only one. I don't care. You gonna know
It's
this
so
from the
it start
time
off so
now
early.
to
That's what they say. 0 to 5 is those like you're shaping that
So like
little
7,
person.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you want to get as much goodness in as possible before the world come in and
yeah.
start.
Real knowing of who they are. Real knowing, but we can't tell our children who they are because we don't know who we are. Like really, culturally, you talked about like other cultures and they taught their children different things. We don't have culture. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we're creating a culture for ourselves now, but we really didn't. It's like, and I ain't blaming slavery, but our culture was not here. Our culture is in Africa. Like traditions was handed down from generation to generation. That's why God is out of everything now because like the culture got it, and he's on the money, right? Because
Everybody talk about him. Well, bless
and
you
all
for
of
blessing me.
yeah. Right? In God we trust even. Like his the country was founded on biblical principles, but then they got so far away from the Bible. Like, it's a real thing.
Yeah, it's crazy because the more I watch like my sermons, and it's crazy because he just told my husband told me the other day, like, man, it's spiritually you need to like go find a church. And I'm like, why go to church? Because I watch my church on TV because it's such a normal thing now. Like, I think I don't rush because I relate, I could understand, and I don't want to just be somewhere just to be there.
Yeah.
Like, if
No,
I don't
facts.
understand what you talking about, and I
Right.
can't get, and it ain't clicking, or you not making it click for me, because I used to be in church as a kid, and like my pastor had to be like 60, 70. I'm like 10. He making jokes, older people laughing. I'm like, what y'all laughing about? That wasn't funny. Like, what's so funny? And so like now that I found something that like I'm used to, I could take, like, I could sit and be cracking up at my pastor. I'd be sitting there like, he is so funny. Like, and just be really taking it in, but he'll say some stuff that had you be like, dang. Like, and it's funny because I'm trying to really learn how to hear and make sure what I'm hearing is the right thing, or what am I taking from what I hear, or how I'm hearing, and the silence, and it's not easy. And so just trying to like do that in the morning with myself, especially before like my kids get up. Like, my son get up asking 10 million questions. My daughter get up with an attitude. Like, I don't not let her sleep for 8 hours or more, 10 hours. Like, girl, get up. And so like when you're in those type of spaces, it's kind of hard not to just really like get irritated. It's early in the morning and you doing too much. So like I think that's helped that a lot, because it's kind of like I've simmered myself down, and I may have read my devotional and it said something that just like really hit for that day, and I'd be like, okay, cool. And then like I can go in their room like, come on y'all, let's get up. Woo, woo, woo. Like, don't do it today. Let's not do it today.
That's what I mean by doing it in the work. You make sure you take the time for yourself, and it's important. Like, because if you don't, we just gonna continue to perpetuate the same trauma from generation
Over
to
and
generation.
over.
It's a real thing. I remember, because we talked about how common molestation is, and I want to just scoot over it because somebody out there may have dealt with it
Yeah.
and don't know what to do. And I can say from experience, I literally, my offender was still, my molester was still alive, and I found him. I was about 25 years old, and I was about to get married, and I knew that I had no business getting married because I knew that I was moving based on insecurities.
From that situation.
Like it was deeply rooted, and I called him, not knowing what to do. I said, I'm gonna take my power back. I called him, found his number in the yellow pages, and said, I remember what you did to me. You may not ever admit it, but I know and you know.